We're going to look at the 5 basic concepts of American democracy. And the first one there is the fundamental worth and dignity of every person, which is not necessarily the case in other countries. So um, every person has worth regardless of whether you're male, female, black, white, gay, straight, disabled. It doesn't matter. There is a fundamental worth of every person. The two that we really want to focus on for me is this idea of the respect for equality of all and majority rule. We all know that we're not born in the same conditions in terms of socioeconomics. Some families, some people are born into poverty, some people are born into wealth. So we're not equal in the amount of money that we have. We're not equal in physical capabilities. Some are stronger, some are weaker, some are disabled, some are gifted. So in terms of condition, we're not all equal. But what we are equal, or all we share equality, is equality of opportunity and then equality before the law. Equality of opportunity just means is that we have opportunities here regardless of, once again, your race, your sex, your sexual orientation, whether you have a disability or you're completely healthy, it doesn't matter. Everyone has the same opportunities. A female or a black can be president, disabled can be president, gays, lesbians, doesn't matter what your religion is. Everyone in the United States has the same opportunities, and the only thing that limits the things that we can do are the fact that we don't pursue them. We are the only people who can limit, or you are the only person who can limit yourself and what it is that you want to do. You have equal opportunities to everyone. The other one is the idea of equality before the law. All laws should apply fairly and equally to everyone. If you have a black person and a white person commit the same exact crime, they should be punished and sentenced exactly the same. Man, woman, gay, straight, disabled, I'm using the same thing regardless of what your religion is. Everyone should be treated equally before the law. And there were times where blacks couldn't sit on juries and women couldn't sit on juries, and so they definitely weren't being treated equally under the law. They weren't having a jury of their peers. It was all white men. So we have to treat equally everyone under the law. And the idea of majority rule, keeping in mind minority rights. A democracy, majority rules. They don't care about the minority. You need 51%, and that's the way it's going to be. In the republic that we have, we still use this idea of majority rule, but we have systems and checks put in place to make sure that minority rights are not trampled. You can have a majority of Americans want a public policy. You can have all the members of Congress, the 435 in the House and the 100 in the Senate. You can have the president. You can have virtually everyone. But then at the end of the day, the courts are going to step in, and they're going to look at the Constitution. And once again, the Constitution holds all of those checks. The Bill of Rights, the 14th Amendment. And so the court is going to step in and say, I don't care that a majority of Americans want this policy. It's unconstitutional because it is taking away the rights of certain individuals, and most of the time those would be individuals who are in the minority. So please make sure that you understand that it's really the courts that step in and are that main check using the Constitution. The Constitution is the ultimate check on protecting the rights of the minority. So we are a republic. We are not a democracy. Democracy is the majority rule, regardless of what the minority or how those policies affect the minority. We have laws that are in place that are based on the Constitution that are put there to protect the rights of the minority. Compromise is necessary in our democracy, and this used to be something that was done. You might not like what the other side is thinking, but there was always respect for that, differences in ideas. And if everyone comes together and nobody walks away from the table completely happy. Everyone must compromise. The founding fathers did this when they wrote the Constitution. The Constitution is called a bundle of compromises just because everything in that was a compromise between large states and small states, northern states and southern states, agriculture states versus manufacturing states. So they all came together, and no one walked away 100% satisfied or happy with this document, but they knew it was the best that they could do under the circumstances where they had to compromise and give a little to get a little. Widest possible degree of individual freedom. And so we're constantly balancing the freedoms of the individual versus the good of the whole, and the safety and security of the whole. So this social contract that we live in, we know that we're not 100% free, that we as individuals have agreed to give up this idea of living in a state of nature, and we do submit to the laws that our government creates, but we want to make sure that they are making sure when they do pass these that we have the greatest possible freedom that we can, while still maintaining some security from various threats.